Present to the admission to the Honorary Fellowship of Goldsmiths College, Mr. Brian Molko.
Chair, I present to you Mr. Brian Molko for admission to the Honorary Fellowship of Goldsmiths College. Guitarist, singer, songwriter, sometime DJ. Since graduating from Goldsmiths in 1993, he's been a member of the rock band Placebo, which, having released 6 albums and undertaken 6 world tours with sales of 12 million albums worldwide, has been called one of the most influential, original, and uncompromising successes ever to grace rock music. Brian's songs have been described in the Times as tales of pleasure, pain, and deviant sex. Over the years, he's collaborated with countless artists, too many to mention, but these include Jane Birkin, David Bowie, Robert Smith and The Cure, and Michael Stipe of R.E.M. Born in Brussels to an American Jewish businessman father and a Scottish Catholic mother, Brian spent periods in Lebanon and Liberia as an infant before his family finally settled in Luxembourg, a country he does not like, and which is compared to David Lynch's Twin Peaks. After completing his education at the American International School of Luxembourg, therefore, he came to Goldsmiths to read drama and theatre arts, matriculating when he was only 17 years old. This meant that he was, of course, the youngest person on the programme and is remembered by members of the drama department as a quiet student, despite his penchant for wearing kohl eyeliner. Needless to say, Brian was by no means the first man to wear makeup at Goldsmiths, although he did make a bit of an impression with his nude performance in Scar Tissue, his quasi-autobiographical final year performance piece. Brian has explained that for him, graduating was a liberating experience because he felt that it meant he had fulfilled his parents' expectations. Living on income support in Drakefell Road, trying to find the money to make short films and performing in small Deptford pubs was a different matter, however. Things changed after a chance meeting with another former student of the American International School of Luxembourg, Stefan Oldstall, at South Kensington Underground Station. Brian suggested that Stefan watch him play an acoustic set in Deptford. After the gig, apparently, Steph came up to Brian and said, "I really like what you're doing. Let's make some music together and see what happens." Once they'd recruited a drummer, I believe it was in a Burger King in Lewisham High Street, if I got that correctly, a classic rock trio was formed, with Brian on guitar and vocals and Stefan playing bass. And you only have to listen to the driving guitar, bass, and drums together with Brian's distinctive high vocals on their 1995 debut single, Bruce Pristine, which entered the charts on its re-release in 1997, or the song for which, for obvious reasons, they're perhaps best known, Nancy Boy, which reached number 5, to appreciate that Placebo's sound patently has its roots in punk rock, albeit with an arty twist. Even their choice of name involves wordplay, because placebo is not only Latin for I shall please, but a placebo is, of course, a drug of no pharmaceutical value. Quickly attracting the attention of important people in the music industry, Placebo were fortunate enough to become the support act for David Bowie's Outside World Tour in early 1996, and their growing reputation was cemented by the band's solo shows in the UK. Placebo's eponymous first album, released on the 16th of July 1996, went as high as number 5 in the album chart. The band played the Reading and Leeds festivals in the same year, embarking on European and American tours in November. On the 9th of January 1997, they played at Bowie's 50th birthday bash at Madison Square Garden in New York. Later that month, Nancy Boy was released as a single, reaching number 4 in February after an appearance on Top of the Pops, with the first album climbing to number 5 in the album charts on the back of it. In the circumstances, the chorus to Nancy Boy perhaps seems to say it all, and it all breaks down at the role reversal. Got the muse in my head, she's universal, spinning me round, she's coming over me. Their Top of the Pops appearances gave Placebo huge exposure, some people phoning in to complain, while others wanted to know whether the singer was a boy or a girl, possibly because Brian was wearing a dress while performing Bruce Pristine. Placebo's subsequent albums, Without You I'm Nothing, 1998, and Black Market Music, 2000, also did well in Britain, the latter also going triple platinum in France. Sleeping with Ghosts, 2003, was released with a bonus disc, the aptly named Covers, comprising cover versions of songs by various artists, including Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill and the Smiths' Big Mouth Strikes Again, which had also been the Nancy Boy B-side. Despite being leaked on the internet before its official release, Meds in 2006 was number 1 in 7 different countries. Battle for the Sun, 2009, has been seen as a turning point in Placebo's career, but the band nevertheless sold out the O2 Arena on the 9th of December 2009. Having just released an EP entitled B3, they're currently working on their 7th album. Throughout his career, Brian has been terrifyingly open about sex, drugs, and rock and roll, honest about his own sexuality, and outspoken about homophobia. For me, he has observed fame has no cultural value except if you use it to save the world like Bono or Angelina Jolie. Getting a good table at a restaurant doesn't make you a better person. He was, however, quite touched, he says, by the global campaign conducted by his fans on Twitter when he celebrated his 40th birthday last week. I hope he's equally touched to come back to Goldsmiths. Welcome home, Brian. Chair, I present to you Mr. Brian Molko for admission to the Honorary Fellowship of Goldsmiths College.
By the authority vested in me, I grant you admission to Honorary Fellowship of Goldsmiths. Thank you. I call upon Mr. Molko.
I'm very nervous, so please bear with me, particularly if my mind goes blank. I'm very pleased to be here. I'd like to thank the chair and the warden and all the staff of Goldsmiths College for inviting me here today to receive this illustrious honor. I must admit that I do feel a little bit awkward. This is the first time I've come back in about 20 years, so the prospect of standing in front of you all is quite a daunting one. And particularly since I have never really considered myself much of a musician, a decent songwriter perhaps who associates with talented musicians, and who's managed to steal some of the credit. So to stand in front of you all, graduating students, congratulations, is a humbling experience for me. So I'd like to thank you for that. You know, I write simple, repetitive songs which scratch at the surface of this magnificent and magical art form, which is music. So, you know, I'm very humbled to be here. So I'd like to congratulate you all for having the determination and the courage of your convictions and the singular vision that's necessary to come as far as you all have already. And I wish you all the best. With that, thank you very much.
Well, it really is a special day, isn't it? To have presented all those degrees and to have admitted Brian Molko into honorary fellowship of Goldsmiths is a tremendous honour, and it's a real privilege for all of us to be here today. I didn't mention modesty in the list of attributes of Goldsmiths students, and I really don't think it's justified in Brian's case. But what more is there to say? In the immortal words of Bradley Wiggins, there is a free bar round the back. So on that note, I declare this ceremony for the presentation of graduates and admission to Goldsmiths Honorary Fellowship closed.